Hi, I'm Lizzie with Ottawa Tourism. Thank you for joining us today. Together with MPI Ottawa, we're proud to present this awareness video on anti-human trafficking in our industry. Human trafficking can happen anywhere and to anyone, and awareness is the first step to prevention. We know that in the tourism and meetings industry, we're in a unique position to take action by observing, documenting, and reporting. Let's hear how Sandy, founder of Meeting Professionals Against Human Trafficking, is working to help stop human trafficking and protect the safety of everyone in our community. Hi, I'm Lizzie Lowe with Ottawa Tourism, and today we are joined by none other than the Sandy Biback, founder of Meeting Professionals Against Human Trafficking. Sandy, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start OTMPI, Meeting Professionals Against Human Trafficking?
Thanks, Lizzie, and it's really an honor to be here. It started with travel. I believe in travel. I believe it can change your whole attitude. In 2018, I think it was, my husband and I went to Vietnam, Cambodia, and we believe in purchasing gifts that we can bring home that help the locals. So on the ship, they told us to go to this place called Daughters of Cambodia. And that was the beginning because I saw a sign of what they do. And what they do is they help young girls stay off the streets. And they teach them skills like jewelry making, like bag making and T-shirts. And I saw other things that really didn't sit well with me. And I asked our guide, Mao, and he said, well, they're trying to earn a living. So I came home and I learned more about human trafficking, and I learned it was happening like right here in my city, Toronto, and across Canada. And I met with at the time, the head of human trafficking division for Toronto Police, Nunzio, and he just opened up a whole world to me. I held a breakfast meeting to introduce it, and we'd hoped for 20 people. We had about 45, and it just mushroomed. And more groups got interested. Hotels now were allowing me to come in and use their space, whereas before they're like, oh, no. And that's how it happened. It was grassroots. It just kind of happened.
And that's amazing. It's so inspiring that you came back and took real action like that. Why? This is a question that I have asked to me and that I hear all the time. Why tourism? Why meeting planners? Why meeting professionals? What does human trafficking have to do with our industry? Why should we be concerned?
It can be hidden in plain sight. Okay. It's easy to get into a hotel. I mean, relatively speaking, it's easy to get on a train. It's easy to drive across Canada in a car. It's just very simple because you're just a part of the cog. And it's very simple. It's very easy to be hidden. And so our industry as a whole is really the crux of getting down to the basics and getting to what's going on. And we're not going to save the whole world. I tried that. It didn't work. By creating that awareness, we're bound to save some lives.
So what I'm hearing is that we really are meeting professionals, hotel professionals, the travel professionals. Mm-hmm. We have a front row seat to what could be hidden in plain sight, and we don't even realize it's there.
Right, exactly. And it's easy to facilitate training, and it's easy to facilitate just an awareness, a general awareness of what to look for, what to do if you see something. And I know that's a lot of what's being talked about in the industry right now. That wasn't before.
Okay, so that's a perfect segue, Sandy. Now we know that there is a problem. We know that we are all in a really good position to help fight that problem. How do we do that? What are some actions we can take to do that?
I have a huge list, and I'm going to refer to my list. So as a planner, when you're looking for space, put it in your RFP. So tell me what your company, tell me what your organization is doing to create awareness, to help facilitate the ending of human trafficking. Tell me what your training is, if you have any. But here's the other side of that. If you aren't doing anything as a venue or transportation group or AV company, and you're not willing to talk about what you could do, I can spend my money somewhere else as a planner. And I think that that's key. That's the first thing you can do as a planner. As a planner, when you bring your group in-house, you can also facilitate so when I was planning conferences, I called it, with every client, I called it leave a legacy. So what could you do in that city? At that time, to be honest, it wasn't around human trafficking. It was around planting trees or whatever. But you can find, with the help of your venue and usually the tourism bureau, where in that city is there some place that we can help with, to help facilitate and help organize something for a group that's involved in ending human trafficking. So as a planner, as a hotelier or a supplier, have training, but please get away from the checkmark done training. Have continual training. Have training that's real. Have training that, yes, you have to do the, check the A, B, C, or D, but why? And it's that why. It's about bringing in, if you're going to do it in your hotel, bringing in the likes of a group that's involved in helping those who are involved in human trafficking, and talk to your people. Difficult to do because of all the times and all of that, but they can do a video for you, okay? And you can share that video. You could have them come into your cafeteria in a hotel and maybe spend a couple of days there, whatever they have. So there's lots you can do that becomes local. When it becomes local, it becomes real personal, as opposed to that big group out there that says, okay, you have to do this onboard training. Okay, done that, click. When it's personal, you're going to be more aware. Personally, know what your kids are doing online, because they're doing stuff online that you have no idea what they're doing, and you probably couldn't even do it. That's where the greatest number of kids are gotten into trafficking of all sorts. It's really sad. Talk to the kids' schools. I know that in Ontario there's some curriculum. I don't know enough about that. Find out what it is. Find out what your kids are doing online, and add the 800 number to your own phone. 1-833-900-1010 is the Canadian 24/7. If you're traveling in other countries, find out what their equivalent is, so you'll have it when you're in another country. So stay alert. Look at things differently. If you're sitting in a hotel lobby, for example, does somebody look like they're frightened? Does somebody look like they're disoriented? Are they wearing inappropriate clothing? And today that's hard to say what's what. But if it's the middle of winter and they don't have a winter jacket, that says something. They could even prepared. Yeah. Right. They could even be a kid, who's sadly living on the streets versus being trafficked. But it doesn't mean you should ignore them. If you're on a plane or you're at the gate, do they have their own passport? Is somebody else speaking for them? If they can't, and the same is at a front desk, although that's my thing. You don't have to sign in at a front desk anymore. That's a whole different topic. Yes. But report it. So I think for me, the key, Lizzie, is about awareness. It's awareness and talking to others. It's all the elaborate schemes and so on and so forth, but it is truly about talking to other people. And I mean, it doesn't matter who they are, they don't have to be in our industry to talk to them, right?
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Sandy. It was a pleasure and an honor to speak with you, and thanks for sharing some of your wisdom with us.
My pleasure, and good luck with everything that you guys are doing, really. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy.